All right, in this video, we're going to be talking about the difference between observation and inferences. While you're watching this, you should be also going through and completing your notes, which are found in OneNote under the investigation section, which I've already blanked out the parts that you need to be filling out as you go. The nice part about the video notes is that you can click and pause and fill in your notes as we go through. If you need to backtrack, you can do so as well. But let's get started. So our first thing that we're going to talk about is observations. Now, observations is simply the gathering of information using our senses. Now, we have 5 senses, and they are sight, smell, hear, taste, and touch. So as you are using any of those 5 senses, that would be making an observation. Now, there are 2 types of observations, and those are qualitative, and that's using adjectives, like saying something is hot or it's cold, or describing something as its color, like I have a red mug. Now, if I were to have a quantitative observation, that is using something that I can count or measure. So if I said that I had 30 milliliters of coffee in my mug, that is now a quantitative observation, where if I just said that I had hot coffee in my mug, that is a qualitative observation. Qualitative is like a quality, quantitative is quantity, dealing more with numbers. Now, what are some observations if we were to look at a picture here? So an observation that you might make is that you see balloons in the background, and you see a blue balloon, or you see an orange or a purple balloon, or that there are kids in the picture, that there's a cake there, that the cake has candles that are lit. Now, the opposite of observations, or if we add on to an observation, would be when we make inferences. Now, inferences is when you make an explanation or a conclusion based on the observations that you have. And this is based on past experiences and prior knowledge. And inferences are often made or often changed when new observations are made. You can create new inferences as you learn more. So some examples of where we take an observation and then we make an inference from it is that the grass on the school's front lawn is wet. Well, we have described the condition of the grass. It's wet. It's an adjective there. That would be a qualitative observation as well. Now, a possible inference for why it's wet would be, well, it rained, the sprinkler was on, or there's dew on the grass from the morning. Those are all inferences that we have taken prior knowledge and concluded why the lawn is wet. All of these, exactly like I said, are based on prior experience or knowledge. You know that in the early morning, condensation can build on blades of grass, and that creates dew, and that would be a reason why it would be wet. So let's look at another example. An observation, well, the school's fire alarm is going off. Possible inference from that would be, well, the school could be on fire, or we are having a fire drill, or a student or somebody pulled the fire alarm. Again, all of these are logical explanations for why the fire alarm is going off, and that would be inferring why it is. Maybe you don't see the fire, or you don't see somebody pull the alarm, or you don't know that it's a drill, but that you are inferring based on prior knowledge that when the alarm goes off, there are various reasons why it would be going off. So let's go back to that birthday picture and make some inferences here. So we can make an inference that the girl in the middle here, that it's her birthday. We're inferring that because the girl is in front of the cake, it would be her birthday. Or we could say that the boy to the side of her, we would say that we are inferring that he might be scared of the flame on the candles because of his expression. We are inferring based on prior knowledge of reading facial expressions that he may be scared of those candles or the flame. Let's do another practice. So let's make 2 observations. Maybe you have an observation that the duck is wearing a blue jacket, or you might make an observation that there's a computer on top of a desk. Now, if you had made an observation, or if you said that the duck was going to hit the computer with the hammer, that now is an inference, because you aren't seeing him hit the computer, you're inferring that he's about to. Let's try another practice. So 2 observations that we might make is that we see a woman on the phone. So we're observing, seeing her on the phone. We can also observe that she is holding a green mug or a green cup, or she has a blue blanket around her. Now, an inference would be drawing a conclusion based on those observations. So an inference that you might make could be that she's sick, because you have prior knowledge that if a person has a ice pack or a hot pad or a pack on their head, they may not feel well. You are inferring that because she has a blanket wrapped up around her, that you are inferring that she would be cold, or that you are inferring that she's calling a doctor, or she's calling sick to work. Those would be inferences because you don't know what's actually going on. You are inferring based on prior knowledge using observations. Let's do one more practice here. An observation that we might see is that we see 2 people behind podiums. We might also have an observation that one of the people is pointing at another. So we see that that is going on. Now we could infer that the person in blue over here on the right side, that they are confused because they're looking upward, or that they don't know what to say because, again, they're looking up, or maybe that they are having a debate because you're inferring based on prior knowledge that 2 people behind podiums where one person is pointing at another could be that they are arguing or debating a topic. Now, when to use observations and inferences? Well, during experiments, you should record observations, not inferences. Inferences may be used when writing the conclusion in your lab report. So now let's put this to the test. Log into Canvas and complete the dinosaur observation versus inference quiz. You can redo this as many times as you need to until you score at least an 18 or better out of 20. Good luck.